Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I am here with Junk Journal Round Robin, day 17. I am excited to get into this. Let's start with Mary Ellen's envelope today. So she's got this big yellow envelope. I'm just gonna grab my I think I've started to remove staples this way because Mary Ellen does. There we go. And there's none there. Okay, good. Alrighty. Let's see what she's giving me today. Okay, we got a few things in here. I'll keep the envelope for backing. These have been really brilliant for backing. Okay. Ooh. Oh, beautiful. Wow. McMichael Exhibitions on Tour. How beautiful. I should actually check some of these out. McLaren Art Center in Barrie. I haven't been there in a while, actually. That one's over, though. What is still running? We've got People of the Watershed, photographs by John McPhee and Kenora. That's a little far for me. This one's in Scarborough. Rajni Pereira Futures. And this one, Marilyn McMaster Bloodline. That's at McMaster in Hamilton. And then People of the Watershed, actually by John McPhee. Tim and Sudbury, North Bay. A little too far for me, but yeah, beautiful. Look at this image of this person with this like very leafy headpiece. And I also really like that image. Just cool stuff. Okay, I need to move on. I'm so distracted. Okay, so this is River of Dreams, Impressionism on the St. Lawrence at McMichael. Well, that's gorgeous too. Look at that. Oh, I love these. Yay. Okay. Yay. Okay, so and a camera and a little cluster of purple flowers and a pink butterfly. Okay, so we'll set these over here. Lots of ideas there. And what Rochelle sent me here, let's see. Oh yay, the spoils. These are gorge. Oh my god. Okay, so these are old photograph postcards. Look at these. These are all ladies from some kind of probably an order, potentially like Mennonite or something. No, I'm wrong. This is Holland. They're in tulips. These ladies would be in Holland. The hats make sense now. Let me get properly here. See the tulips? Holland is known for their tulips. And then this one, same thing. Look at her like very baggy sleeves in her dress. And she's got these lace-up boots that almost look like skates on. It's funny. Interesting hat. Her face is quite like almost sunburnt looking or rosacea looking, like quite potentially freckles. I just see like the, you know, her eyes, like I get like that in the summertime if I'm not careful. Okay, so I'm yapping. Okay, I bring these things together will be the challenge. Because I'm sort of thinking about, I know what I want to do with that. I think the camera might be the challenging one, so it may actually just go into my own journal because it's an Instax Mini 8 camera. And I actually, shh, do not tell him, but my son is getting one of these for his birthday. So I think that this sticker is going to go in my personal journal because it can be part of my storytelling about his birthday. So I'm going to just plunk it over there with that. And then these things can all kind of be central together, right? So we may or may not use these things together. I'm not decided there. What to do? feel like I know what I want to do with this, and potentially this. It's like they're all just so individually interesting. And I have such a rough time cutting up old cards. I just like to leave them alone a lot of the time. I just use them directly as they are. So I mean, I could certainly oh, look, it says something on here. Jan Brost, Tulip Field, Holland. Oh yeah, okay, so here we go. Holland, Michigan? M-I-C-H. Interesting. I wonder if, like, the Holland, if there's a Holland, Michigan? I don't know, but it says Holland, M-I-C-H. So I'm guessing there's a Holland in Michigan, and maybe there's like a, is it like a, you know, a little ode to the real Holland with the tulips? I don't know. If you are in or around Michigan and you know something about this, I would be very interested in knowing. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to kind of think about the things that I'm not sure about yet, but where this took me was like an amazing, it's an amazing background, right? Or a set of 2 backgrounds. And I'm still harvesting from my portrait painting book here. And I'm thinking I might try to find like 4 things from this book to use in here as I use this up. And I'm looking at this, you know, I actually kind of have an idea for this. Okay, I'm going to set that here as Project Uno. One situation I'm going to work on. This is all like what? Too big kind of religious kind of material. But that doesn't necessarily mean I won't use something from it. Okay, I'm going to create something with those 2, I think. Yep, set that aside. Okay, so that leaves this and this. Too big but beautiful. I mean, I could certainly use her big giant head, but it would take up everything. This is kind of perfect though. She's quite perfect for this, I think. So I think I'll use it because this is just such a large picture. So I think I'll use her with her strange, decrepit little animal here. This poor thing. Oh, it's a unicorn. Okay, I can't make fun of a unicorn. All right, 1. I think it's time to use this one too. We've used almost all of the beautiful things in this book. Almost. Let's use up this other Van Gogh. 3. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's good. Okay, so I think I'll start with this first. So I'm kind of thinking his head may be large enough to cover up these people, which is what I'd like to do. So I'm going to just cut him out here. I'm actually kind of sad I'm getting through this whole book. I think it's time after I finish. Well, I'm happy I'm getting through it because it's part of my Tackle the Box challenge of books and things. So it'll just be time to move on to another of my lovely books that I have. I have no shortage of art books, but every time I get and I use one up, I feel like I need to go get another one. So I'm not going to do that. That is not what we do in this house. Oh yeah, I like that. I just like him on there. I think that would be a lot of fun. Could we also, yeah, we could do this. So we'd get even more of him. Yeah, I quite like that. Okay, let's get to gluing here. I need a larger piece of paper. We'll go with this Pikachu. On my never-ending quest to use up all this Pokemon paper. So we will glue, glue, glue this one. Excuse me. So I watched a really nice NFB, National Film Board of Canada, film this morning, which you can actually watch on their YouTube. I believe it's NFB _OTH. I don't know. But just look up NFB on YouTube and you will find it. And the film is called Inkwo, INKWO, and it is an Indigenous story. It's just amazing. It's beautifully illustrated, animated, just amazing, with a really great message, and I think you will like it if you kind of share some of my my interest in nature, my interest in reciprocity, and like Indigenous teachings. I think you will like it. I am quite chuffed about this, but I think I'm going to make it a little smaller. We're not cutting his head in half today as we have in other videos, but we're going to make him a little titch small. I don't want to lose all that blue. I want to keep some of that blue because that's just gorge. I think he would have approved. Okay. Move the chopper here. Then I need to move. I've got some things set aside because I'm working on a journal. I need to make a video. I'll probably make a video for my Patreon because I'm obviously making videos every day for YouTube. So maybe I'll put this on Patreon, but it's a fun journal, or two journals really, that I'm starting. I was feeling a little bit like, I don't know, stressed about making journals because of the whole situation with the tariffs. It's hard to watch people suffer, period. And a lot of people are suffering right now because not only the tariffs, but also because of, the government taking away critical benefits to so many people in the United States. It's just a terrible time. It's a terrible time of cruelty. But why I was personalizing that a little is it's just very difficult to sell things from Canada to the United States. I've had to turn off shipping to the US in my Etsy shop because unfortunately, Etsy's sort of part of the problem, I think. I may be able to set it back up eventually, but I don't know. I'm still kind of giving it some thought, and I am still shipping to the US. You just have to reach out to me through, Instagram, Patreon, a private message, and I certainly can get things to you still. It's just, and I obviously still want to because it's my business. But yeah, I'm feeling very personally affected and impacted by this terrible regime of fascism in the United States because, first of all, it's making me too unsafe to visit my family in the United States. I don't feel safe going into the United States right now as a traveler. Not at all. So I'm not able to see a lot of my family, and I really don't like that. And I think it's utterly shameful that one person can have such an effect on so many people's lives. But also, he's taking food out of my family's mouth as well because I'm unable to run my business as I once did. And it's not fun watching your sales go, like, literally in Etsy. I saw this, like, they show you kind of your stats, and it's just like, 100% down. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Thanks for the blunt reminder of that. I did not need that. But yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling very fearful to talk about this problem. Some are being, I think, very blunt, which is a good thing. I think we need to talk about these things because this is not our shame. It's nothing we're doing wrong. And probably there are some people who will take pleasure in hearing these things. You know, there's many sick neurologies out there at the moment, unfortunately, but I know my heart hurts for anybody who is losing their benefits, losing their ability to feed their family. That is not me. I have a full-time job outside of YouTube, and that will always be the case, but I know that a lot of people are unemployed, underemployed, disabled, you know, all those things that are life's realities, and any one of us could fall victim to. And those are the people that I care more about and that matter more. But I mean, it's just a terrible time in humanity. And I really hope that we get past it soon. It's like there's this story, this viral TikTok that happened. This woman did an experiment where essentially she represented herself as a single unemployed mother with a child, and her issue was that she's been cut off of SNAP benefits and that she does not have any money to be able to give to purchase formula for her baby. So she ended up reaching out to a whole ton of Christian-based churches, including Turning Point USA's church. And I'll mention that because of the recent, you know, news and division on the topic of the you know, what that group really is. And anyhow, so she reached out to all these churches to ask for help, to explain her situation and to ask for help. So every one of these Christian churches turned her away. So, you know, it's quite illustrative when you think about, like, the birth of Jesus story and how they were turned away and, you know, that whole situation, right? You think that, I don't know, Christianity would have a more empathetic fan base. I wasn't surprised though when I heard it. Like, I'm not saying that all Christians act this way, but organized religion has never been my thing. I've seen and heard and personally experienced far too much yucky behavior. I think people lose focus on what they're supposed to be, you know, doing in organized religion. I mean, when you look at the Vatican and their city of gold, and you know how money influences everything and paints it and makes people, you know, very about themselves, honestly. But, you know, often they think they're not. They think it's another way. But truth is truth. So who didn't turn these people away? Who did not turn away this lovely woman who's trying to buy formula for her baby? That would be one church that she reached out to that was a black church, and another one, I believe they were Southern Baptist, and another one, or two actually, were mosques, and they were by far the most willing and helpful to help her right away. They said, come here, we will take this on, we will help you, just come here, we will take care of it. So if you want to look that up online and see for yourself, you can. It's very, very viral online right now. I'm just mentioning it as we talk about, you know, the challenges of like trying to run a business and do something. I want to cover this breast, but I don't know with what. Not with this, for sure not with that. That doesn't really work. What do we want to cover it with? But yeah, I mean, if you've been around here for a while, you know I'm not usually scared to talk about life's topics while we're working on stuff, and I think that should be true for everybody. I also think that most of you would agree that babies need food access. I mean, I would imagine most people agree with that. I think most things these days that have been politicized tend to actually be things that if we were in smaller groups, if we were sitting around a table, if we were asking the questions in a basic way, we probably would not even have a disagreement. Everybody would feel the same. But between bad media and bad politics, it changes. It changes us, right? So, yeah, it's a bit to think about for sure. Like, I was reading something this morning, and I wish I could recall whose quote it was. Excuse me. Or even the quote itself. I can't completely remember it. But it was essentially like a story, or not a story, but like a comment about how someone was saying, like, when they were younger, you know, it used to be that, like, politics were bad, and they knew that, but they weren't so bothered. They weren't so troubled by it because they didn't feel so, like, impacted by it, because they still knew right from wrong. They still knew, right, who they wanted to vote for, what they wanted to stand up for, and they felt like most people around them also were the same. But they were talking about how now what's different, what's more impactful, is that the media is also just so tainted, right? That these large media moguls, and now we have social media, so like the metaverse and all the evil people that are billionaires that are, you know, basically being, I'd say most of the political pandering is happening in order to get support for AI objectives and funding from the US government for those objectives, and to avoid the ethics conversations around AI. Because a lot of people they've got a lot of reasons that they want to ignore those ethics. And the biggest one being making money from, you know, small people, small creators on the internet, on YouTube, on Etsy, who are just blatantly using AI, but not even saying the word AI out loud. There's loads of those folks, to the gigantic tech bro billionaires who are seriously the ones making most of the money and driving this whole train, right? And they will be the ones who will make your energy bills go up because you, not them, even though they're billionaires, you're going to end up paying for all of that. And maybe you'll not only pay for it out of your paycheck, but depending on where you live and where they build their data center, maybe you'll also pay with your access to water, like many people are. Because, you know, when you use AI, you're just pouring out bottles of water to do so, to keep cool all of those machines that have to do all that computing work, right? So it's a real big topic to think about, and this is what kind of happens to me. You know, I don't want to stress people out, but I also don't want to hide from reality. I think we have to be kind of mindful about being, you know, an ostrich or something. We can't just stick our head in the sand. Because I think when you do that, you also might normalize in small ways, just kind of going ahead and doing what you've always done or doing whatever, right? Not thinking necessarily about your impact. And like, you have a huge ability to impact things positively or negatively. I like this feather. It kind of looks like an arrow, and these are arrows. But I don't think I'll use it that way because it will block the arrows. But yeah, it's all like, I don't know. I find these days the majority of things are connected. Maybe it's always been that way and I only just figured it out in this decade of my life, or I think more about it, how everything is connected. Yes, that's fun. Okay, so we'll set this one aside right there. Then we'll move on to this one, which I want to use her on because she is a beauty. And I don't know, I hope I can fit her little unicorn friend here. this is done by Raphael, if you're wondering, young woman with a unicorn. And it says 1505 to 6. So I'm not sure, is that when Raphael lived maybe, I'm guessing, or when he worked on this. This is a nice little snippet here. I might just save from that page because it's a butterfly and some flowers. So we'll set that aside in the scraps too. So what else is there to talk about? Oh, so I watched Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein on Netflix, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I also quite love him because he's also very anti-AI. not of any surprise. You know, when you have so much talent, you don't need to be dependent on those kind of things. Like, and that's the thing, right? Like, AI enables the capitalists to benefit off of creativity even when they don't have it themselves, right? They just steal it through AI. So they have no talent. They just take and they just take our money as creatives. And he is very much blunt about that whole thing, though. He does not use AI in any of his filmmaking. It was so good though, and it was so, like, I watched it a couple days ago now, but like it was a really cold day, and it was kind of like the end of my workday. So I work with a lot of people in Europe who are like 6 hours ahead of me, so like my time is really important in the morning with them, but then as the day peters onward, I don't have as many people that I have to sort of deal with or work with, really. I don't have as much to deal with. So I had the afternoon to myself because I had just done like so much last week. I was so exhausted. So I was like, you know what? It is like an hour before the end of my day anyways. I'm just going to take the end of my day and I'm going to go upstairs and get cozy. And I just got in my cozy, comfy bed with all my big pillows and blankets. I've turned my bed into like a wintertime fortress now because it's cold. And I just shut the lights off, and right before the kids got home, it finished just after they got home, and it was just so cozy. I was so happy to just watch such a yummy film, such a well-made film. It's really good. You should watch it for sure. That's fun. Yes. Okay, so 2 down. Now I've got to get into the meat of these things. So, well, not that that wasn't the meat, but these are the more, I would say this is slightly more challenging what I'd like to do here. So, on this card, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this, or I'm going to take this piece and cut it off. Is this a Norval piece? I don't know. Probably. But anyways, this one as well. And then this cool piece here I want to keep also. Just an interesting person. Okay. Then little scissors, here we are. I'm going to just cut out this figure. Around this bottom a little. Perfect. And there's also a tiny little death's head moth right here, and I would like to also cut that out. I kind of have enjoyed these things that Mary Ellen has sent me where I think on day 1 she sent me a few of these, like, you know, photographical kind of postcards, and it makes me look for a picture within a picture. and I appreciate that. Then I need my punch. Is this is 1.5 inch. I need the bigger one, I think. Where is it? It should be right here as well. Yeah, there it is. Or is that the bigger one that I have here? That's that one. That's a 1.5. I think, I don't know, can I use a slightly bigger? Could I use a 2? Or does that, yeah, I could. I'm going to grab another punch. So just give me 1 second. Okay. 2.5 or 2.25. Yeah, 2.25 inch. So I'm going to cut a circle from that piece. Come on. Okay. Then I need my, set that here, set that here, set that here, glass mat. Wow. Now that I look at this, could it perhaps, no, I don't know. Let's not overcomplicate things right now. Let's keep on task here. Keep on task. Okay. I need my blade, my little Gyro Cut Pro. Okay, we're going to cut all around her shoulders and a little bit down. Is that cutting through? Not quite. I think I'm going to have to do 2 little runs here around this. I'm going to cut as best I can around this. I'm going to cut in the inner line, because it's okay if I'm on the inside of the image. I don't want to be on the outside, because we're going to be slipping this in the inner part of this line. And if you're like, what is she talking about? Just bear with me. Okay. Can I pop that out? Yes, I can. Good, good. So now we can put this away. We're done with that. My idea here is I want to create like almost a moon type image back here. Now that needs a little something. Where did the little death's head moth go? So here's this. There it is. Okay, we can take this away now. I don't need to be cutting anymore. These go here. So first I think I need a little black ink. And where are my little inkers? Oh, here they are. Reach. There we go. The one I've used for black. Is it here? Is that it? That's a different kind of inker. That might be actually better. It's kind of little. Let's try that. Good. Let's bring you in a little here. Now, this needs some silver. Silver halo. molding wax. Okay. Oh yes, that's better. That stands out better. All right. It's going to glue on the back of her head here. Then the bottom side of the card, just to get the circle card down on the edge there on the card. Now, I kind of want her to be like, see how these hands, they kind of line up right with her hands. So I feel like these could either be her hands or her hands. It creates like this mysterious feeling, you know? So then we'll put this on here. Go just kind of a little off kilter. Then our Death's Head moth, I think, I'm going to have it coming up here, sort of out of the frame of the picture. I think there's a bit of symbology to that, right? Because this is going to extend out of the picture. Okay. All right, and then we'll back this whole thing after. I'm going to do the backing at the end. I'm just going to go through the creative process first. It will move this along for me and I'll feel like invigorated to continue here. Not that I already don't, because I do. I'm sort of looking at this thinking, what kind of story could we tell here with this? I'm going to get, I need a piece of purple paper. I'll be right back. I found the purple paper that I want, but I've also just, that's for the next project. I found this piece of 49 in Market. It's the back of like one of their Spectrum Sherbet Strawberry Lemonade paper. And I want to do something with this. Yeah, I've kind of got some ideas for this. I need to trim it down a bit though. It's a little too big. I just want to make like a sort of a field note feeling card, like that size would be good. So like this is part of the story. And I'm going to just rough the edges to thicken them a little. It just bends, sort of like, I don't know, it roughs the paper up and bends it in on itself to create a firmer edge. You see that? Like it's flattened now and rougher. Then I'm going to get my Walnut Stain Distress ink. Go from the front first. So frame that, and then the paper core edge. Okay, good. And this butterfly sticker, I just noticed this swallow-tailed coat, it says on there, and I want swallow-tailed. Right from this piece of paper, that's fun. Anything else? Green tie completed the costume. This is just going to be kind of like, kind of creating some notes. a moment it turned to one of admiration. Admiration would be a good word. So I'm taking my scouting group and taking them to the firehouse this week. I am really looking very forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. Whispered. That would be a good word too. Whispered admiration. Because I think a butterfly is a humble, beautiful thing. So they would whisper. Okay, that's enough words. Now let's start laying down what I want to do here. So I know like I want this here on this card toward the bottom. Right there. This feels like a stretch between like a scrapbooking page layout and like a field note kind of guide. I just need my sanding block here. I just want to rough up this sticker a little bit. Take the shine off, and also will make it be penetrated by ink. So I want to use my walnut stain here again. Definitely on all the white space around the edge. And then even inward a little on the butterfly. Because sometimes when you ink stickers, even though you've inked them, they still kind of feel like white spacey, you know? So I'm going to cut a little more of this away. Just kind of randomly, like not all of it all the way. That feels a little more tattery. Okay. Green tie completed the costume. Swallow-tailed. Whispered. Admiration. And then I'm just going to grab, no, I'm not, I lie. I was going to grab a stamp. I already decided I wanted to use some of these palette rub-ons, also 49 in Market. Spectrum Sherbet palettes. I'm so sad these are like no longer made. Ugh. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, I think, about paper crafting, is it's like once something's been released, you have a limited time to get it or it's gone. I don't love that. Not a lot. Gotta decide on a color here. We're mostly pinks, but I'm thinking we could bring in greens. Oh, I cut the bottom of this already. I can pull that back up. Okay. So let's just look at this. There's oranges and pinky oranges. Not really feeling that. Reds are kind of a maybe. Blues are not quite right. I mean, interesting, but not quite right. Green, possibly. Light green. And yellow is like, yellow is going to bring it together. Green is going to stand out and tell more of a story for this. I think I'll take a chance on green. Actually, what I'll do, yep, this piece here, and yellow here. gather these again. Burnish this on. Okay. Oh yeah, that's good. Yay! I love that. Then maybe this marker, I think, has seen better days, and I think that is actually awesome for this because it's giving it kind of a rustic feel. But I want to outline. To bring our story to the forefront more. Okay, so that's that piece. All right, now put this back in here. Okay, the last one. La 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 la. Where we take all this and bring it together. So of this, I'm going to save this piece as well for another day. Another scrappy day. This girl. Everybody would just take their hands at her. The picture. Okay. Let's use this little scissor. She's reading a book. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm just thinking a little here. As you can probably tell. Okay, let's move this stuff over here for a minute. I need the chopper. Okay. Ruler. Where's my ruler? There it is. Okay. Bit of purple then. The black outline to restore the photograph feeling. Okay, then let's glue this down. It's going to be a pocket. Got to kind of rub this ink around a little. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of brown as well. Okay. Come here. Oh, that's not the piece I need. Where's the other half? There it is. Okay. Just cut out a couple of these little purple flowers. Sorry guys, I know this is taking a minute here. But when you want to do something cool, you gotta take a minute, you know? You just have to indulge a little. Yep. Like one more. Who other than me is cutting a sticker into pieces? Who knows? Okay, that one over here. A little bit down. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I'm going to glue this whole thing down. This one kind of looks like it's coming off of a stem, which is nice. Okay. Those are all the things. Those are all the things that we use. Now I need to trim this. I'm going to back it first though. You guys can stick around for this backing, I think. And then I will back the rest probably off camera. But I'm probably going to use a little fabric too. So I'll let you stick around while I make some choices here before I run off to the sewing. Just glue this whole thing down. Kind of smooth, smooth, smooth. Okay. Okay. And then I wonder if it might be kind of fun. You know, we've got a few supplies out here. Make a little tag to kind of go with this. Just real quick, like. So I've got, you know, my scrap here of this. Why don't we just glue? Hopefully that's blank. Yeah, it is. Okay. Steal another little piece of this purple. This is hand-dyed paper. I need to dye more purple. I think I'm almost actually completely out of purple paper. And you need purple paper, you know? Tulips are poisonous. They can also be very, difficult on the hands for people who have to mind them. Thinking about our skelly friend here. He can be kind of a part of the symbolic storytelling of dealing with being a tulip farmer. And it's also this really nice medieval kind of looking art, right? So it all goes well together. So we'll chop the corner. And then I wonder if I have, just give me one little second here, guys. No. I don't know if I have a good butterfly or moth or something. I mean, it doesn't actually need it. I'm being extra. Let me just look one sec. That is actually pretty cool too. I'm gonna do that. I like it better. It's just a tree image that I punched out with a punch, I think. Or actually, I think I freeform cut this one. I don't think I have a punch in that shape. Maybe a die cut though. I'm not 100% sure. How perfectly does that fit? Yay. Okay. And then I'm thinking for this one, I want a little something too. I'm just going to stand up for 1 second to check what I've got. That might be kind of neat. We'll see. Yep, that one. Okay. That's a sticker, I think. Yep. Good. Now, okay, no. Do I want that to be a tag, by the way? I think I do. Yeah, okay, good. Now we need to ink the edge of this to give it that nice outline that the smaller tag also has. And then I think what I'm going to do to kind of finish all of these off, I have, so this will go in here. I like that a lot actually. I've got to get fabric, and I'm going to use the same fabric across this whole line of work because, you know, holistic things are good. So this is just some dark eco printed fabric. That one's going to go there. That one's going to go at the top. This we're going to give that. Oh yeah, this is going to need, this isn't going to get fabric, I don't think. I may do a tab on the side, actually. Let's do it. Let's just bring this whole line together. This, and then we got 2 more pieces that need a piece of fabric. 1 and 2. Okay, so why don't I back and stitch these, and then we'll do a whole review on everything we've made. So somehow we created 6, actually 7 really, pieces of ephemera, and I love them. I think these, I just think they're awesome. So let's go through them one by one. So first is this kind of field note style card. So it says, swallow-tailed, whispered admiration, green tie completed the costume. And it's got that artsy, fun, leafy headpiece on this person, the palettes, you know, all that fun stuff. And I backed it with brown paper, added some book spine and some fabric up top, and I just think it's really fun. Then we have the Van Gogh with the little label there, a simple backed with the mailing envelope. I like the colors together. I think that's just really nice. And the next is the two-parter. So I stitched around both, and I drew a little moon here and a little star there to kind of connect them. So I think that, you know, this piece, I think I really like it. It might be my favorite. Actually, between that and the cabinet card kind of looking one, the photographs just really did a lot for me there. I like how the whole thing came together. Oh, I did it again, you guys. I keep forgetting to like back these. What is wrong with me? You know what I think I might do though with this one? I've got this this is like just old paper, and I'm kind of thinking I might just like do this on the back of this, like as a scrappy, actually that side's even nicer, as a scrappy backing, because like I don't really need to back the whole entire thing because like it's already a folder. I just used the wrong side of the folder. So let's do that. That's kind of cool. Maybe one more piece. I know we were supposed to be done. I know. But you know, I get a little bit forgetful sometimes. And it's also kind of nice to just like use up this is really old photo album, like scrapbook photo album type paper. So yeah, let's just do that. That's kind of fun on the back of there. Okay. Then we had this. So this was the other photograph. And so like I cut into it, pieced into it these bits. I then added this bit of book spine here that I stitched across and the label there. So that is the backing for that. And I think that's pretty magical feeling. I like it. And then these two. So I just stitched book spine and the fabric to the top of them, and they're done as well. So yeah, I think that was a good day. So thank you for hanging out with me while we did all this stuff, and I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Don't forget to check out Mary Ellen and Shell. They're also making a video for you today, and I will see you tomorrow with more Junk Journal Round Robin. Bye for now.